Hey folks, it's Michelle Metzner and welcome to this video about refutation texts and how instructional designers can use them. Let's get started. Before we get going, let's look at today's learning objectives. After watching this video, you'll be able to define the term refutation text, identify the components of refutation text, explain why refutation text could work according to the conceptual change theory, and explain why refutation text should be used in instructional design. Refutation text is text that identifies a misconception, states that the misconception is incorrect, and then supports the correct information with source material. Now, refutation text has three components: the misconception, the refutation, and the support for the refutation. So let's take a quick look at how refutation text might be structured when dealing with the topic of the Oxford comma. Now remember that the first component of refutation text is the misconception. And here on the screen we see that our misconception is the Oxford comma is not necessary and should not be used in written English. So let's look at a sample sentence in which the Oxford comma is not used. Our sample sentence reads, "On the streets of New York, comma, I saw the drag queens, comma, Stephen Colbert and Andy Cohen, period." As you can see, there is no comma after Stephen Colbert, which means that the Oxford comma is missing. Let's go ahead and move on to the second component of refutation text, which is the actual refutation. So here we are at the refutation, and for this example, the refutation is the Oxford comma is necessary because it adds clarity to sentences. It's as simple as that. So let's move on to the third component, which is the support for the refutation. Now, this support says that the presence or absence of the Oxford comma can significantly change the meaning of a sentence. So if we look at our sample sentence here, in the original version without the Oxford comma, the sentence actually says that Stephen Colbert and Andy Cohen are the names of the drag queens. Now, in the revised version of the sentence with the Oxford comma, it is clear to the reader that when I was in New York, I saw three distinct groups of people. Group 1 included the drag queens, Group 2 included Stephen Colbert, and Group 3 included Andy Cohen. Therefore, the Oxford comma created clarity in the sentence. So the question then becomes, why should instructional designers consider using refutation text in their designs? Well, in their meta-analysis of 44 studies, Schrader and Kucera found that refutation text is not domain-specific, which means that it is effective across the disciplines. Also, refutation text is not affected by the delivery medium, so it's just as effective on paper as it is on screen. Additionally, shorter refutation texts are just as effective as longer ones, and the learner's age and reading level don't negatively affect how well refutation text works. Finally, the effects of refutation text hold up over time, and they are not affected by the testing location. Additionally, refutation text can assist in intentional conceptual change, perhaps more effectively than expository and conceptual change texts. Since expository texts tend to be based on scientific facts, they can be very domain-specific and possibly difficult for readers of lower reading levels. As mentioned previously, refutation texts cross domains and tend to be more accessible to readers of all levels. Additionally, conceptual change texts tend to take a less straightforward approach to change by starting with a question and then presenting evidence to counter misconceptions. This may confuse less skilled readers. Refutation text, on the other hand, is very straightforward, stating the misconception at the outset and proceeding from there. Okay, so that is a quick rundown of refutation texts. Remember that there are three components: the misconception, the refutation, and the support of the refutation. Also remember that refutation text is effective because it's not domain specific and not affected by delivery medium, length, reading level, learner's age, test timing, or test location. As always, if you have any questions, please email me at michelle.metzner@right.edu and I'll be happy to answer them.